Emotionally unavailable.
Hello and welcome back to Emotionally Unavailable. I'm your host, Malisa Hepner. It is good to be here. This solo episode is not going to be very long, hopefully. I'm just going out of town in a couple of days and I'm excited about that. We are going to the lake and we're going to kayak and do some fun naturey stuff. So I'm excited about that. Not excited about leaving the dogs. We had someone come over to meet them last night because one of our little girl dogs is kind of stupid about strangers and she got really upset when this girl was here, and we know her, thankfully, and I trust her and it's going to be fine. But I'm like, oh my God. Thankfully, if she does bite, it's not that painful, but I just can't believe it. So anyway, not looking forward to am looking forward to getting out of town. So just kind of trying to line things up for the week. I needed to do a solo episode for Monday, but didn't get as much stuff done on Sunday as I needed to, so I'm just kind of getting it today. But I talked about this with Angie on Unquiet Soul. That episode, it'll come out next week, but I really, the episode last week with Kirsten, actually, I guess it was Monday I released it because it was going to come out Wednesday. I was going to do a solo episode for Monday, release that episode Wednesday, but since I didn't do a solo, it came out today. I'm recording this on Monday. So the title of her new book is Stay, and it is written about the loss of her daughter Kalia to suicide, but from their dog's perspective. And I just think it's so sweet. Anyway, the word stay was really just like permeating me. And what I've been learning so much about is like to be emotionally available means to be able to stay with yourself. And so I really just kind of wanted to, I talked a little bit about it with Angie, and I've been talking about it on here, but I really wanted to talk about how sometimes we don't sabotage happiness because we don't deserve it. We sabotage it because we never practiced carrying it. So I wanted to talk about that because I know that there are so many people feeling hopeless and helpless and lost and stuck, and like what is in front of them is the only thing that could ever be, like it's fixed, that it couldn't change. I would say to that, like, really, we have to look at how we are self-sabotaging. I've been very open about this, but one of my biggest forms of self-sabotage has always been to spend too much money. Always. Because if I'm looking for a quick dopamine hit, I'm lonely or bored, I'm kind of like hypo aroused below that baseline, I will buy things I don't need to buy. I haven't really done that very much since I became self-employed because I couldn't afford to, but it's definitely something that I've done in the past. And then even like, for instance, the 2 cars that I bought in the last 9 years, I could very much afford those and did it. And then the way my nervous system responded, it felt so unsafe to make the purchase. I couldn't even be happy about it. Like the second car took over a year to feel really settled and safe in the fact that I owned that car. It was really bizarre. Now I can see what was happening, but we have to get a lot of practice safely carrying success, love, friendship, healing. And so letting go of those older versions of ourselves can be hard because that's all we've ever known. And to evolve means to feel safe and know that we are safe no matter what changes are happening, because safety is created within. So anyway, I just kind of want to talk about that because I think that so many of us really struggle with self-sabotage. I think too, one of the things that I had to ask myself was, what parts of me feel like I need to struggle or be in a struggle to be worthy? Like, how has struggling become a key part of my identity? And I think that's a really big question. I think we have to ask ourselves, what parts of my identity have become so wrapped up around this belief that this belief now supports who I am fundamentally? Like, we are capable of change. We're all redeemable. And I haven't talked a lot about seeing people as redeemable on social media in writing, because I don't want people to take a religious tone to it. Like, yeah, with God's love and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, that's not my belief system. My belief system is that we are all, like, whatever God is, source, universe, whatever, we are all created from that. We are all pieces and parts of that. And collectively, we are all that. So when we choose, this is my belief system, when we choose to come to this earth as a human and be a soul inside of a body and have this experience, we came with all of our worth and value attached to us, and we are connected to this higher self, us. Like, I was talking to somebody yesterday, one of Jake's friends, and she was like, yeah, I really think he's been helping me. He's been guiding me, whatever. And I said, listen, I have no doubt that he is, but I also think what you're feeling is your highest self, the part of you that knows. It gets so much better. It gets so much better. And anyway, so that's been an interesting thing, an evolution for me. So if you're kind of new, then you haven't heard me talk about that. But all the times that I attributed something to God or then my dead mom helping me or whatever, I'm like, oh, I actually think it was me. I think that was my higher self guiding me. Okay, okay. So I think when we make the decision as souls to come to this earth, that we are here with all of our worth and value. We don't have to earn it. We already did, because we were created. However you think we were created. And if you are just completely atheist and don't believe in this, that's okay too. This is just my thoughts. And so I've been thinking about, like, is there anything that could make somebody irredeemable? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so, because I think you just, first of all, the way I'm viewing karma at this stage in my life is not I'm punished for bad deeds. The punishment is that you don't have full access to love, joy, peace, and abundance like you do if you're living in alignment with your truest self. Like, that is the punishment, is nonstop ego, nonstop being triggered, feeling like nobody loves you, feeling like a fundamental fuck up, living within perfectionism. Those are all little private hells to be unhealed, to be so wounded that you live from those wounds every minute of every day. That is a hell. I was in hell then. And now finding peace, I think that's the goal, because that's when you manifest. That's when you get the things that you asked for. It's like this certain frequency. So I think that's the karma, is that they don't have love, joy, peace, and abundance. That may not be enough for some people. I'm not asking anyone else to feel the way I feel. I'm just saying I've been thinking a lot about redeemable. And when I considered a heaven and hell, I really believed that there were people who deserved heaven and deserved hell and whatever. And now I'm like, no, I mean, I guess they'll just have to figure it out and fix it in the next life. I don't know. I just know that they don't have the life I have. Even if they're way richer than me or whatever else, like, they're not at peace. And I don't know, that's a lot for me. So shit, I don't remember why I went down that road, but I have been thinking about that a lot because, um, you know, the people involved with who sold Jake drugs that killed him. If you're new, I had a son who was almost 19 and died in December of 25 because he was sold a manufactured pill that had cyclorphine, a synthetic opioid, in it that's 10 times more potent than fentanyl. And from the very beginning, I placed all the responsibility on his shoulders just because he was fully aware of what the risks were in buying pills. He didn't know they were manufactured, but he should have known that they could be. So I'm not angry with anyone about that. I was struggling with a little bit of anger about something, but I've talked it out and I feel a lot better about it. But I think that it's been very important for me to still see those people as humans. They're young, and they all made really poor choices, Jake included, and for myself personally, I'm not saying anyone else is wrong for how they deal with their grief or the feelings that they have, but I'm saying for me personally, it would impact my life very negatively to stay in anger, resentment, bitterness, any of that. And I made a choice to stay after losing a child, and I'm not just going to like white knuckle this life, you know? I'm trying to get the most out of this life. Like if I already went through way more shit than anybody deserves to go through even before losing a child. So I'm not I'm I believe, again, whatever your belief system is, I respect you, but I believe that as souls, we choose our experience and we have little soul families. We have soul ties with people in soul land, wherever that is. And we make the decision of who we're going to do this life with. We pick our parents, we pick our struggle, and like the theme of experiences. So that's my belief. So I believe that Jake and my other children chose me as their mother, and I believe that I chose my parents. And you know, again, if you're new here, my dad died when I was 15 and my mom died when I was 22. So there's just been a lot of stuff like forever. And after losing Jake, I really just decided, like, buckle down, like, whatever I signed up for to accomplish in this lifetime, I want to, because I want it to mean something. And also in the idea of justice, for me, there's no justice here. He's gone and he can't come back no matter what. But what would feel the closest to justice for me is if the people involved in distributing these drugs got their shit together and lived really good lives. Not perfect lives, but like where they were happy and full of love, joy, peace, and abundance. That would make me the happiest, to see them become a success story and just be happy, loving people putting good into the world. That's the best that I could ask for. So that's where I have been lately. I don't know. I'm in a hurry, so I don't think I'm going to say too much more today. I appreciate all of you being here so much. And if you haven't listened to my episode with Kirsten, please go do that, because it was a great episode if you're struggling with grief. Or just like not struggling, but just have been through a loss and want to hear us talking about it. Yeah. If you haven't already, please like check the show notes, go to my link tree, like, subscribe, rate, follow, review. All of those things help with my ratings and rankings. I thank you so much for being here. Sorry, I'm just tired and trying to get this stuff done. So I still have to edit Unquiet Souls episode for tomorrow. So I gotta go. But thank you guys. Thank you for your understanding whenever I put a small piece of content out. I was really warring with myself about skipping an episode this week, but I haven't done that in over 2 years. I've never skipped an episode, no matter what was going on with, like, even after Jake died, I didn't skip an episode. So it's important to me. So thank you for being here. I hope that that was just a little bit of food for thought. I'd love to hear your responses to that. So comment, whatevs, you know, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming to Emotionally Unavailable. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share.